Good morning.
Braden here, designing an English website that works. In this lesson, you'll learn about adjective and preposition combinations, Part 2, and about inventory control systems.
This conversation takes place in the afternoon at a website design firm.
And it's between Michael and Sarah.
Michael and Sarah have met before, so the conversation is casual.
Let's listen to the conversation.
Michael, I need a website.
I think I can help with that. What kind of website?
It's for an international seminar that's being organized.
The one that the International Relations Department puts on every year?
Yes. We're doing it at the university this year because the department is very keen on saving money, so we had a bit of a budget cut.
I'll bet. What kind of website do you need?
Our main audience is people concerned about energy, so we need something that will appeal to them.
I totally agree with you. And it's very good of you to give me the information about your target audience. That can be some of the most useful information you can give a web developer like myself.
Anytime. We discussed it, and we don't need anything fancy. The site is just for informational purposes.
So no need for a forum or customer service sections. But you'll probably need a blog format for updates and an about page, right?
That's exactly what we were thinking. Something similar to the site we had 2 years ago, just with less bells and whistles.
Yeah, I was disappointed with last year's website. Looked nice, but nothing worked. Who made it?
Not sure. I wasn't part of the group then.
Well, I'll need to take an inventory of everything you need. Okay, so we wanted to talk a bit about inventory control systems.
An inventory system, commonly just called inventory, is a system for managing and locating objects or materials.
Inventory systems are also used to manage consumables, fixed assets, merchandise, and library books.
In a commercial setting, the inventory is usually a database of all the products that are used or sold within the store. An inventory system can be used to automate certain parts or even the entire sales process.
For example, an inventory list could specify which products need to be brought from the store stockroom to the showroom floor.
Modern inventory control systems can use wireless or mobile terminals to record inventory transactions at the very moment they occur. For example, UPS uses a custom-built mobile terminal to accept signatures and wirelessly update the central database for all of their shipments worldwide.
In the dialogue, Michael is concerned about addressing all of the needs of his client about their website. Therefore, he takes an inventory or makes a list of all the things his client wants. Let's take a look at the vocabulary for this lesson. The first word we'll look at is
Website.
address connected to the internet with one or more web pages.
Website. Website.
Our second word is
Organize.
arrange into a structure.
Organize. Organize.
Our third word is
Appeal.
make a serious or urgent request, typically to the public.
Appeal. Appeal.
Our next word is
Bits.
a small piece, part, or quantity of something.
Bits. Bits.
Next we have
Useful.
helpful in doing something.
Useful. Useful.
And our last word is
Fancy.
elaborate in structure or decoration.
Fancy. Fancy.
Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of the words and phrases from this lesson.
In the dialogue, we heard phrases that demonstrated agreeing.
How a person shows agreement in English depends greatly on the context they're in.
In a casual conversation, the phrase, "I totally agree with you," is perfectly normal.
However, in a business meeting or when talking to your boss, speaking like that is slightly disrespectful because it is too casual.
In the dialogue, Michael is very casual, as many people who work heavily on the internet are. And since they are basically equals, it's okay.
But this would not be appropriate if Sarah were Michael's boss. Could you break this down for us?
I totally agree with you.
And one time fast.
I totally agree with you.
Our next phrase is bells and whistles. This is an English idiom that refers to the number of features or benefits a particular item might have. In general, these features tend to be unnecessary from the perspective of the speaker.
For example, bells and whistles are unnecessary for a car to perform its main function of taking you from place to place. Therefore, some people might call a sunroof or an iPod docking port bells and whistles because the car will still run without them.
This is a phrase you probably won't use in formal situations. Since both Michael and Sarah are speaking casually, it's appropriate. However, especially in professional contexts, this phrase is sometimes seen by some as hickish, or a phrase used by uneducated people.
This isn't actually true, but some people do think this way. To avoid giving that impression, especially in a job interview, you can avoid using the phrase until you're sure it's acceptable.
That's right. Could you break this down?
Bells and whistles.
And one time fast.
Bells and whistles.
Let's take a look at the grammar point. So Barbara, what's the focus of this lesson?
The focus of this lesson is adjective and preposition combinations, part 2.
In the dialogue, we heard the phrase,
It was very good of you to give me the information about your target audience.
Okay, so let's explain a bit about the structure of this lesson. First, we're going to specify a preposition. Then we're going to give you a short list of adjectives and a sample sentence using that adjective preposition combination.
Also, each group of adjectives has the same or related meanings and use patterns.
First, we're going to look at the preposition of. As you can imagine, there are quite a few of these.
Our adjectives are nice, kind, good, mean, generous of someone to do something. For example, it was nice of him to buy me a present.
Our next adjectives are stupid, silly, of someone. For example, I'm afraid it was stupid of me to come.
Next, we have impolite, rude, of someone. For example, I can't believe how rude it was of Dustin to shout at his daughter in front of all those people.
Next is unreasonable, of someone. For example, don't be so hard on yourself. It's unreasonable of you to expect to understand everything immediately.
Next, we have proud of something or someone. For example, I'm very proud of my daughter's wonderful progress in school.
Our next words are ashamed of someone. Our next word is ashamed of someone or something. For example, she's ashamed of her bad grades.
Next is jealous or envious of someone or something. For example, she's really envious of her sister's wealth.
Next is fond of someone or something. For example, she is so fond of her niece.
Next, we have short of something. For example, I'm afraid I'm short of cash tonight.
And here's the last of the ofs. Tired of something. For example, I'm tired of your complaining.
Now we'll look at on. Use the following adjective followed by on. The only example we have here is to be keen on something. For example, she is very keen on horses.
Now on to, the preposition to. Use the following adjectives followed by to. Also remember to use the verb to be with these expressions. First, we have married or engaged to someone. For example, Dustin is engaged to Jill.
Our second set is nice, kind, good, generous to someone. For example, she was very generous to me when I was staying with her.
Next, we have mean, impolite, rude, unpleasant, unfriendly, or cruel to someone. For example, how can you be so unfriendly to your neighbors?
Next is similar to something. For example, his painting is similar to Van Gogh.
Lastly, we're going to look at with. Use the verb to be with these expressions as well.
First, we have angry, annoyed, or furious with someone for something. For example, I'm furious with my brother for having lied to me.
Second, we have delighted, pleased or satisfied with something. For example, he is quite satisfied with his results.
Last, we have disappointed with something. For example, she's really disappointed with her new car.
That just about does it for today.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for listening.
See you later. Michael, I need a website.
I think I can help with that. What kind of website?
It's for an international seminar that's being organized.
The one that the International Relations Department puts on every year?
Yes. We're doing it at the university this year because the department is very keen on saving money, so we had a bit of a budget cut.
I'll bet. What kind of website do you need?
Our main audience is people concerned about energy, so we need something that will appeal to them.
I totally agree with you. And it's very good of you to give me the information about your target audience. That can be some of the most useful information you can give a web developer like myself.
Anytime. We discussed it, and we don't need anything fancy. The site is just for informational purposes.
So no need for a forum or customer service sections. But you'll probably need a blog format for updates and an about page, right?
That's exactly what we were thinking. Something similar to the site we had 2 years ago, just with less bells and whistles.
Yeah, I was disappointed with last year's website. Looked nice, but nothing worked. Who made it?
Not sure. I wasn't part of the group then.
Well, I'll need to take an inventory of everything you need.